Hello and happy Sunday. This is Kelly with IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. You'd think I hadn't done this in weeks or ever. Today is Sunday, April the 14th. And hello and happy Sunday, everybody. I hope you're having a great week. This is chat number 360, and it is titled, Try These Eating Out Hacks to Stay on Track. So happy to be here with you all this week. We will chat a little bit more about what happened this week as soon as we get some people here. But hello and happy Sunday, everybody. It is good to see you. And I'm anxious to see who the first person is to notice something a little bit different this week from the chat. And hello, Marianne from Pennsylvania. Good to see you. Hello, Katie. Nice to see you here. I hope you all are having sunshine and good weather where you are. Here in East Tennessee, we had winter, and then we had fake spring, then we had another winter, then we had fake spring part 2, then we had, let's see, blackberry winter or another winter, and then we had fake spring again, and no, Trish. Trish, it's been a minute since you've been here if you think it's my hair, but hello, Trish. And then we had fake spring again, and hello, Lynn. And then we had dogwood winter, and we're still waiting on blackberry winter. Or maybe I got those two switched. But anyway, so I hope it is sunny today, so I'm hoping that it is sunny and gorgeous where you are today. And hello, Sandra from Demons Ferry. And in case I didn't say hello, hello to you. Let's say hello to Elaine. Today is Sunday, April the 14th. This is chat number 360, and we're going to be talking about eating out like the whole time. So except for when we review last week, we're going to spend the entire rest of the chat talking about eating out. You will need a piece of paper and a writing utensil for the second half. So for those of you who hang in there for that whole hour, hello, Carol Lou, you're going to need something to write with. So I don't care what it is. Oh yeah, and it's not wallpaper, Trish. Hello, Mary from rain. Oh, it's from raining in Pittsburgh. I am so sorry. And Lynn does have sunshine, but you will need some form of a writing utensil. And hello, Sarah from Raleigh, Massachusetts. It is good to see you too. Yeah, you're going to need something to write with and a writing utensil for the second half. But yeah, I hope everybody hangs in there and watches the second half, because we're going to be doing some eating out fun. So we're going to talk about eating out this entire time. So this is chat number 360. Hello, Hattie. If it is your very first time here, I hope that you will say hello and let us know that you're new so that we can welcome you. Everyone is very friendly here. We're all very welcoming. Everyone would love to say hello to you. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, and that is just youtube.com, search If You Have an Egg. I would love it if you would say hello over there as well. Okay, so let's get going. This is Sunday, April the 14th. We've got enough people here that I'm going to go ahead and get started on a little bit of news for April. The first thing is, today is the first day of the stepping or movement challenge, and it doesn't have to be anything extreme, but that is over. That's the challenge for this week, and it's hosted by Julie over on the If You Have an Egg Facebook page. If you're not, the private page or the closed page. If you're not already a member over there, I'm sure someone will post that link so that you can go over there and join. Please, 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 and hello, Melvie, good to see you. Please answer those 3 questions. We have 7 people right now that I'm trying to decide, let you in, don't let you in, okay? Because they look like they could be real people, but they didn't answer any of the questions. So if you're one of those 7, you need to go answer the questions, okay? And hello, Kim, good to see you. So yeah. So I would love it if you all would go over there and join. This is something that Julie just does for fun every week. So every week for the past, I think this is like week number 7 or 8 now, she has been hosting some kind of a challenge over on the If You Have an Egg, in the If You Have an Egg group, because that's somewhere where it's not like, public eyes, and so we can talk about, whatever we want to over there. But this week it is hello, Marlene. This week it is the step or movement challenge, and again, nothing strenuous, and we're not saying, hey, you've been a couch potato for the last 50 years, let's jump up and run a marathon. We're talking about stuff like, if your step goal for the day is 2,000, let's try to make it 2,100. Thank you, Carol Lou, for posting that. Or if your goal was to do something little while you're getting ready, like one of the girls in our Tuesday night group, while she's brushing her teeth in the morning, she gets some steps in. So anything to add just a few more steps or a little bit of movement to your day, that's what that challenge is all about over there on the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. Okay, and then here's the news for this week that I don't really want to talk about, but we're going to anyway. In case you didn't already hear, and I'm going to try to hold it together as much as I can, but in case you didn't hear, poor little Dusty had to go bye-bye last Monday morning. We lost him last Monday, so if you were with us maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago, hello Anna, if you were with us maybe 6 to 8 weeks ago, you all know that Casey and I, my daughter Casey and I were taking him to the vet, and we were not really feeling warm and fuzzy about what she was going to tell us. And she gave us a few more things to try, but sadly, when I got home from the chat last Sunday night, he was really suffering, and last Monday, hello Loretta, last Monday morning, it was very sad. He was pitiful. So I'm only going to talk about this for just a couple of minutes, because I don't want to get upset. We need to keep, we need to do the chat, because I need something bright and happy for this week. I have let myself enjoy a pity party all week. Hello, Judy. We don't normally talk about the sad, things. But he was 17 years old, and I want to thank all of you all for loving him for the entire life of the chat. So he's been here the whole time that we've had the chat. He's been here. And when we were in the old, and I promised I wasn't going to get upset, but anyway, when we were in the previous location, he would sit right here beside me during the chat and be extremely nosy when we would cook things that had meat, in them, just because he was that kind of dog. So anyway, thank you all for loving on him this whole time. And hello, Catherine from Lowell, North Carolina. Sorry to greet you with some feelings, but I did some math, and between customers in the showroom, you all, church, and a few other things, my gut feeling is that he touched the lives of some 4,000 plus people. So wow, little dude, you really were special. But anyway, so I'm not going to talk about that anymore, but thank you all for your well wishes, and thank you for checking on me. So we're going to go on with the rest of the chat so that I don't continue to, whatever. Okay, so that I can move on. Thank you all for that. I need to know who sat your bottom in a chair last week. So I need to see some thumbs ups for who sat their bottom in a chair last week. Let's see some thumbs ups for that. Yeah, and Debbie actually got to meet him, but let's see some thumbs ups for, and hello Debbie, some thumbs ups for sitting your bottom in a chair last week, or for watching an online Zoom meeting or something last week. Okay, sorry, let me breathe just a second. And let's see some hearts for being here live with us, live, and thank you, Sarah, being here live with us last week, or for watching later on demand. Yeah, so Bravo stickers, and hello Vicky, it's good to see you. So Bravo stickers to everyone who attended an in-person workshop, a Zoom workshop, or here with us live last week. So yeah, and to Ann and Melissa and Karen and Jody and everybody else who was at our in-person workshop last Tuesday, and Barbara, sorry I was all gloomy Gus, but anyway, y'all know what happened. So, and Trish is the only person who did guess close to what surprise thing. I can't remember, did I do Bravo stickers? Yeah, so Bravo. Trish is the only person who guessed close to the next thing that we had done in the showroom. So we have tile. This has absolutely squat to do with Weight Watchers, other than I am super duper excited. Actually, hold on. I'm going to show you a close-up one, just because it's so dang pretty. It has been so fun. Like, I don't like moving. I don't want to move again, but it has been so much fun getting to redesign another new showroom. So this is showroom like number 4, but this is the tile that I picked out. No one else voted for this tile, but guess what? We got the tile that I wanted. Anyway, I thought it turned out really nicely. And if you were ever in Knoxville, we're in North Knoxville, so if you're ever in the Halls, Mountain City Halls-ish area, I would love for you all to stop by. So some of you all have stopped by, hello Lisa from Arkansas, at a previous location, but I would love to have you all stop by here if you happen to be coming through town. And thank you everybody. It does look a lot lighter and brighter, and we're gonna be adding some open shelving here. And then over in the area where our coffee pot is, we'll be adding some open shelving there too. But anyway, if you happen to be in town, like Kim, you came through once before, a few of you all have, we would love to see you. I know, and Trish says it looks like wallpaper from a distance. It really does, and thank you very much, Lisa. Okay, so last week we were doing chat number 359 last week, and so we were talking about the Swap It Out challenge. Julie had just done, or like 2 weeks before that, Julie had done the Swap It Out challenge over in the If You Have an Egg Facebook group. And then last Tuesday, Gwen was talking, not last past Tuesday, Tuesday before that, Gwen was talking about ways to, like, how quickly a penny can add up. Her and her husband had been collecting pennies, nickels, dimes, some quarters, no dollar bills, no bills were put in this jar, had been collecting that for a while, and they decided to cash it in. And with pennies, nickels, and dimes, so in case you didn't know, a penny is worth 1 penny. A nickel is worth 5, and a dime is only worth 10 cents, okay? It takes 100 pennies to make a dollar. 100, and I know y'all know this. But when they took that to cash it in, they had over $600. So all those little pennies, nickels, and dimes had really added up. So we talked about that last week. We talked about making this change, kind of all add up. We talked about the power of a penny. If you saved 1 penny or a point, if you saved 1 penny or a point at each meal, you'd have 21 extra points to use on something else at the end of the week. 21. That's a lot. If you just skipped a ketchup packet at a restaurant, there you go. That's 1 point right there. If you used skim milk instead of 2% in your coffee, there you go. That's another point. Then we talked about nickel and diming it. And if you could shave off like a nickel or a dime, so 5 or 10 points for a meal or for a recipe or something like that, how fast, super fast that would add up. So opting for salsa instead of dressing at a restaurant, that one is a good one if you've got a restaurant that has a great salsa to offer. Air frying rather than pan frying. My buddy Popcorn Karen was talking about that earlier today. Air fryer this, air fryer that instead of pan frying. And she and I discovered our obsession for air fryers about the same time. And then sipping on a small drink, like a small sweetened drink, like a McDonald's sweet tea, instead of the large, can save 5 or 10. And hello, Barbara from Bonal, South Carolina. So you can save a lot of points really quickly. Then we talked about the fact that it was time to cash in. So I went over 3 things that I had you kind of sit down for last week, because the amount of points that you would shave off by using these things was shocking, okay? It's also shocking in the other direction, the amount of points you use if you don't shave these things off. So things like just substituting for the half of a cup of oil in a cake mix, substituting a half a cup of applesauce saves over the recipe, over the whole, like using all of the cake mix, it saves 37 points. That's a huge amount of points. Swapping out 1 cup of my fat-free cream cheese for regular cream cheese in a recipe, 42 points for the entire recipe. And then the last one was that stinking sausage. If you substituted 2 pounds of sausage, which is a lot, but like at Christmas, we always use 2 pounds of sausage to make sausage balls. But if you substituted 2 pounds of regular pork sausage for my buddy Jody's turkey sausage, you would save over that whole recipe, you would save 118 points, triple digits. I apologize, I did not get to go back and finish out Jody's recipe. I've got a little bit of tweaking to do on it, but y'all already know how the rest of my week went. Yeah, and I'm just now back in the, trying to be back in the land of the living. So I'll get that tweaked out, later. Okay, so, and thank you all for being patient when I kind of, abandoned ship this week, but it was gloomy and sad, and I really didn't want to talk about it. So, sorry. Okay, so your homework for last week was #CashItIn. And so we were talking about using the model of a penny, saving a penny here or a nickel here, which is points, there, here and there, how much you could save. And so I asked y'all to tell us some ways that you could cash it in. Marlene is cashing it in big time by using my fat-free cream cheese recipe, and she is racking up those point savings, and it's delicious to boot. I know that, Marlene. I know it for a fact. Sylvia does use ground turkey breast, but she mixes it together with what I would normally consider to be like kind of meatloaf ingredients, but she's patting out her own patty. So she's kind of mixing it together. You'll have to go over on If You Have an Egg and see what how she did that, but she's kind of patting them out and making her own turkey burgers. Way to cash it in. That was a fantastic idea. And then Mindy there's a cottage cheese. Y'all know how I feel about cottage cheese, but I'm all in for those of you who like it. So there's a cottage cheese bake that has taken the internet by storm. Mindy took that recipe, went ahead and tried it herself. She cashed in some points by using fat-free cottage cheese and turkey pepperonis, and you can see her post over on Instagram. You can see it in our Facebook group. But hello, Joycelyn. Casey is going to add the link to that specific post in the chat. So when she gets this posted here in a couple of days on www.ifyouhaveanegg.com, she will post a link to that now infamous internet rage of the cottage cheese bake, which I will not be trying. Y'all have to let me know how it is. But Casey will be posting that link. She will be posting that link with the chat notes. Okay, so bravo to everyone who did their homework. Good job, everybody. Y'all did a fantastic job. So thank you for letting me be late asking in it. Again, not a great week this last week, but we're here. We're all here. Okay, this week and for the rest of tonight's chat, we're going to be talking about hacks for eating out, like ways to, to just not go crazy when you eat out. Okay, so I have the three most dreaded words anywhere, anytime, and that is, what's for dinner? So technically that's 4 words, okay, but what's for dinner? That is the most dreaded question in our house, okay? I don't know about your house, but as soon as somebody says, hey, what's for dinner or what's for lunch? Panic, panic, panic. Panic sets in. So if we have not, thank you, Sarah. So if we've not already pre-planned a meal and somebody just throws out, hey, what's for dinner? It sets off a panic, okay? So if the answer to that question is anything besides we're eating at home, we're eating what we already planned at home, if the answer is anything besides that, then you better have a plan in your back pocket. So we're going to do that now, okay? P.S. We're posting a link in the chat on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. We're posting a link in that chat back from some tips back to 2017. So the tips that I am sharing from 2017, they might be a little bit outdated. And aloha, Kathy. They have a little bit outdated information because it was back when we were on Smart Points. But all of them still apply. You just may have to adjust the points, for now, for the just the Weight Watchers program that we're on now. But they are still super helpful. Plus, for that chat, and again, that link is going to be posted on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com. There is an adorable picture of me holding Dusty. So, if for no other reason, y'all need to go back in honor of our little Betty, okay, and just see that and just look at that chat. Okay, so some pro tips for a hack attack instead of a Mac attack. Okay, so we're gonna hack the eating out. So we're gonna have a hack attack. We are not gonna have a Mac attack. Okay, so first thing is whoa, watch out. So WW, Weight Watchers, whoa, watch out. Things like salad dressing cups. Those years ago, eons ago, those were a huge surprise to me. Those little bitty, even if you ask for your dressing on the side, those little cups that they bring you, those are 2-ounce cups. And I don't know if you know this or not, but 2 ounces equals 4 tablespoons. 4 tablespoons of salad dressing. 4 tablespoons of regular ranch, if you're not paying attention, not to mention if you got something fancy, but just regular ranch can be as much as 9 points. So, whoa, watch out for those. And hello, Susie. Also, hold the bread basket or only bring enough for everybody else to have some. Skipping just the bread or the roll can save anywhere from 5 to 8 points, and that's if you don't slather it in butter, okay? So many places are happy to hold the bread basket. A lot of them don't even do it anymore. A lot of them you have to ask for it. But it's a lot easier. So like if we go to Red Lobster, I am going to have a Cheddar Bay biscuit, but we only have them bring enough for everybody at the table to have one, okay? This is not an unlimited, only counted as, one Cheddar Bay biscuit when you've eaten 7 different servings of it. Okay, so watch the bread basket. Another thing to watch out for is no butter added onto fish, veggies, corn, etc. Well-intended steamed broccoli can be up to 5 points if they add butter to it, which a lot of places do. A lot of places soak meat and vegetables and things like that in butter or other oils just to kind of bring up the flavor of it. If the server can't help you, that it has been, to let you know if something has been hit with the butter mop, which if you don't know what a butter mop is, you need to find out now. If they can't tell you if something's been buttered, like if a bun's been buttered, or if broccoli's going to be swimming in butter when you get it, butter. Butter has a place, but it doesn't need to be on broccoli, okay? If the server can't help you, don't be shy to ask the manager. Just see the manager. Just tell them. You don't have to say, I'm on Weight Watchers. I'm on a diet. I can't eat anything, so I need to know what's on this. You don't have to do that, okay? You can just say, look, I've got some food allergies, and I have to know what's in my food. I'm not going to be adding dairy to anything. So could you please just find out what's going to be in this for me? You know, and if you'd make it sound like you have an allergy, I'm allergic to being fat. Okay. That's what my allergy is. So if you'll do that, they're more than happy to help out. Also, what we'll watch out for, here's some terms to watch out for. So avoid things that have words like slaw, pasta salad, regular dressings, teas with syrups and flavors added, anything that the server or the manager can't readily identify. Like if they don't know, if they can't tell you what all the ingredients are, you probably need to avoid it. If it says savory, if it says creamy, you know, things like that, you might want to avoid. Okay, the next thing is let your fingers do the walking. So there was, for eons, there was those old Yellow Pages ads, and they had the picture was like, you know, it was like this. And they always said to let your fingers do the walking for the best information. That was meant to let your fingers, you know, kind of flip through the Yellow Pages so that you could find the best information. If you don't know what the Yellow Pages are or were, then you can just go sit over there in the corner while us old people chat, okay? So those of us that are old enough to know what I'm talking about, the rest of y'all can just sit, you know, just sit and wait. So the Yellow Pages, you would let your fingers do the walking, flip through, and you would find the best information. So for this, we're also going to let when you're eating out, sometimes you're going to have to also let your fingers do the walking. And I don't mean flipping through the menu or flipping through something, but if you need to guesstimate on the size or portions served while you're eating out, remember you have these handy tips from Weight Watchers, okay? I'm also going to post a link to this and it's kind of an older printable list of ways to do that. But your fist is approximately 1 cup. So if you're trying to decide, ooh, I don't know how much they brought me, you know, and you don't want to like, you know, you might want to divulge it to the rest of the table what you're doing, but sometimes you don't. Sometimes you don't want to draw attention to yourself. So just know your fist is approximately 1 cup if you're trying to decide how much is this? How much do I have here? Your thumb from the tip to the base. So here to here. So from here to here. So your thumb from the tip to the base is approximately 1 ounce of meat or cheese. So we're talking about this much right here. Your thumb from the tip, so from here to that first joint, this much, that is approximately 1 tablespoon. Now, I don't want to see you measuring out that 4 tablespoons of dressing I was talking about with your thumb, okay? Just know it's 4 tablespoons. So this is a tablespoon. From your fingertip, this, to the first joint, that is approximately a teaspoon. From your fingertip past the first joint to the second joint, that is approximately 1 inch. So if you need to know about, you know, like the size of something, that's about 1 inch. A cupped hand, unless you have ginormous hands, and I have friends that do, but a cupped hand is approximately 1 to 2 ounces of something like nuts or pretzels, if you needed to guesstimate on that. The palm of your hand, so just this part, no digits, no fingers, okay? Just the palm of your hand is approximately 3 ounces of meat, fish, or poultry. That's how you're going to know. You know, approximately how much, you know, meat you're eating, fish or poultry. So just don't forget, you have these with you all the time, so you can use those to help you guess on some measurements. The last thing is know before you go, and I know y'all get tired of me saying that because I say it all the time, but trust me, it has saved my rear end more times than once, okay? Case in point, last week at our in-person Weight Watchers meeting, we have a very successful new-ish, so her and her husband have only been coming maybe 2 months, maybe, and they're doing great. They're doing fantastically because they are a united team and they're in this together. But, so she is a very successful newish member. She was faced with a meal, and I can't wait to see how she did this Tuesday, but she was faced with eating a meal out at a spot here in Knoxville. I think we have like 5 locations now here in Knoxville called Calhoun's. They are famous for barbecue, for steaks, for something called Spinach Maria, which is has less to do with spinach than it has to do with grease and cheese and things like that. And some other sumptuous butter and fat laden things that we don't even need to talk about right now. But she's going to be with witnesses because she's going with work. So her coworkers, her and her coworkers were going out for some kind of a work event, and she wanted to make some smart decisions before she got there. Okay, so step one, make some smart decisions before you get there. But what she had chosen, what she had chosen, that she looked at their menu, and what she had chosen to put on her, to put on her order, we did some little, over here at the side, we did a little fact checking, and we did a little investigative work. So fact checking and investigative work later, another table mate and I reshaped the boring meal that she was getting ready to order. So she was getting ready to order grilled chicken, the spinach Maria that I just mentioned, and no dessert. We changed it into a delicious, well-rounded meal for about 14 points, and that left room for a little bit of their famous banana pudding. So you'll have to wait until the second half for more details. So I'm going to get you all we're going to do a little experiment kind of like that and see what you all would do. But those are the things that you need to do to kind of get that in your back pocket, get some tools in your back pocket, get it ready before, because you're going to have to eat out. So Sarah said, I'm glad I don't eat out very often, like 27 comments ago. Okay, but that doesn't mean never. So almost all of us, there might be somebody here who never eats out, but even if you order Uber Eats or DoorDash or have food brought in, you need to be thinking about this before you get into that situation. So the homework for this week is hashtag choose facts, not fries. So hashtag CHOOSE, let's see, CHOOSEFACTSNOTFRIES. So choose facts. We want to choose some facts about these decisions and not the fries, okay? So this week's homework will make more sense after the second half. But for those of you that you're already up way past your bedtime, here's the scoop. For your homework, I'm going to want you to find one thing or a meal that you have faced before, or maybe you've got it coming, like you're going to be facing it soon. And I want you to look at the facts. I want you to look at the facts of whatever it is that you're getting ready to eat. Is there a swap that you can do now? Is there some decision that you were going to make that once you find out the facts that you think, wow, I wasn't really headed in the right direction, or maybe I need to head in a different direction? Do you can you hold the butter mop? Do you even know what a butter mop is? So these are some facts that you need to figure out, some facts that you need to get before you're faced with this next situation, okay? So that is your homework for this week. Hashtag choose facts, not fries. And hopefully one of our lovely ladies here tonight will post that homework so that you all can see what it is. If not, it will be on IfYouHaveAnEgg.com when Casey posts this in a couple of days. And yep, and there is Lynn. Yeah, choose facts, not fries. Okay, so we are close to the end of our first half. If you are new with us, this is a 1 hour long chat. So sorry, you should have gone to the bathroom before we started, because now you're going to have to wait. You do need to grab, yep, and Sandra's exactly right. I do need to grab some water. You do need to grab, while you're grabbing your water, because I want you to get a drink of water too. While you're getting that, I also want you to grab, if you didn't first, I want you to grab something to write with, like a piece of paper, and something to write with. And you are going to be answering 1, 2, 3, 4, just 4 questions. So you only need something big enough to write 4 answers on. Okay, so everybody go ahead and stop. Thank you, Catherine. It is time for water. Everybody stop and grab some water. This is the only time all week that I know that you all had water. So go ahead and get some. And again, if you're new or if you're watching this on YouTube, this is a 1 hour long chat. The first half of the chat is whatever we discussed at Weight Watchers the prior week. The second half of the chat is something fun. And I think tonight's going to be fun. I honestly could not muster up enough strength from this week to do any cooking. I pretty much just ate, whatever. I didn't really put any thought into my food this week. And that was okay, because I needed to take this week. But I think it's still going to be fun for the second half, and we are still going to continue talking about eating out. So everybody grab your water real quick, and then we will jump right into the second half. And I will use this lovely piece of tile that I brought over to set my water glass on. Also, if you were watching on YouTube, as soon as I put on the apron, we're not cooking anything tonight, but as soon as I put on the apron, that's how you know that it is the second half. If you're watching the entire thing and just want to skip to the second half, you can just scooch on over to when the apron goes on. Or my daughter Casey will be posting this she posts this as a separate video every week, except for 2 weeks ago. when YouTube or Facebook, I don't know which one it was, wouldn't cooperate and would not let her download the videos. Anyway, okay, this is the second half of chat number 360. And we were talking about ways to hack eating out, okay? At about 8:45, somebody nudged me at 8:45 and say, hey, stop talking, because we have to do the fun thing that requires the piece of paper or the something to write on and the writing utensil. So, okay, so I need a clock watcher who's going to stop me at about 8:45 so that we can talk about that. Okay, so we are talking about eating out, and we're talking about ways to hack eating out and ways to kind of get this plan going before you actually go out to eat, so that you just don't go crazy, that you go into this with your eyes wide open, that you do go into this with some knowledge, kind of know before you go. It is the pits. It is the absolute pits to show up somewhere, not have pre-planned, or for it to be a surprise and not know that you're going, don't even have a chance to even kind of look something up. In the heat of the moment, everybody's ordering, what am I going to get, what am I going to get, what am I going to get? Then you get it, and maybe you snap a picture of it, maybe you just check it out when you get home. So after tracking, if you track after, post-meal tracking in a situation like this rarely ever ends well, okay? It is usually I don't want that to go on my permanent record, and people start not tracking. Okay, so a couple of things that your app will do for you, and I'd like to pause at this moment and say, April the 30th, I think it's April the 30th, is the last day that you will be able to track, look up things, record your weight, anything like that on the desktop version of Weight Watchers. So if you've been logging into weightwatchers.com, here in a couple of weeks, you won't be able to get many of the features that you need, okay? So you really need to figure out some way, and if you don't have a cell phone, if you don't have some form of a tablet, I am really so very sorry, but you are going to have to find some way to get the app, to get the Weight Watchers app. So I'm going to be using it on my iPad tonight so that y'all can see it, so that it's big enough that y'all can see it. And yes, I know that it is backwards, but it's more important that y'all kind of see where I'm pointing and scrolling to than it is for you to be able to see this front ways. But again, here in like 2 weeks, you've got to have the app, either on a tablet or on your phone or someone else's phone or your child's phone or something, so that you can access this. Okay, so as far as eating out goes, you have several different options of things to look for on the Weight Watchers app. If you have not let your app update, like this is an iPad that we use here at work at Casey Kitchen Center, and because this is not the one that I use for tracking all the time, it actually came up when I went to go to the Weight Watchers app. It actually came up with a message I've never seen before on any app, and it said, like right across the screen, time to update. Do you want to update now? Well, sure, of course I want to update now. I need this for the chat. So I went ahead and said okay, and it updated it. You really need to figure out what your login and password is if you don't already know, just so that you can get back in. If it's been a while since you've been in the app, or if you're going to be switching devices or something like that, you really need to figure it out. Do not just assume that Face ID is going to be okay. Do not just assume that saving the password within the app or on your Google, what is that called? Google Keychain or whatever. Don't assume that that's going to be it, because anything could happen. Just remember your login and password. It's not impossible to find it out again, but it's just not fun, okay, if you don't already have it. So a couple of things that you can do when you're fact checking before you get to wherever, hopefully, if you've got an opportunity to do that, if you're fact checking before you get to where you're going, you have a couple of options. So the first one is, if you go up here to the three lines up here in the upper left, you can go to right here where it says restaurants. And what do y'all think about the new little icons? I love them. I love the way that they look, because they actually make more sense. It makes more sense than just the words, and I love the little lines in between. I don't know, it just looks clean to me. So if you click on restaurants, it is going to take you to this screen, and this screen says points or restaurants. So that's going to be your next choice. So if you have some control over where you're going, and if you're just trying, and Lynn does love them, I do too. If you're just thinking, I'm just going to go out by myself, just want to grab something, whatever, and I've got like X number of points that I'm willing to spend, you can sort it by points, and you can say, okay, I've got 5 to 7 points that I want to spend, and it's going to pull up a bunch of different options from eating out that are just 5 to 7 points. So you can go at it from that approach, but that's if you already know ahead of time, or you know, like you have some of the decision making power. If not, you can go to that same place, but you can click on restaurant name, and then you will see a long list of restaurants. Okay, if you don't see the restaurant that you're looking for in there, like this Calhoun's that we were talking about, Calhoun's is very local. Like I said, I think we have 5 locations, but it is a local restaurant. If you're from Knoxville, Litton's down the road. There's not another Litton's anywhere. So if it's more local, you're just gonna have to pick something that you think is, you know, like the next best choice, or like that would be close enough. So when we were trying to calculate this for her, we just typed in steak and we picked another steakhouse. They didn't have everything that she was going to be looking for, but look, a little bit of knowledge is better than no knowledge. Okay, so that is another way. If you do it that way, you're just going to go to, like, let me pick something. Okay, like Friendly's. So let's just go to Friendly's, and so there is the entire list with points of things that Weight Watchers has added to their app. That does not mean that every single item in the area that you're located in, that does not mean that every single item is going to be on there. Okay, so just be patient. Just be patient. I don't know if you know this or not, but some restaurant chains, even like nationwide national chains, they will have a different menu depending on where it's at. So if in your area, if you don't find exactly what you're looking for, just be patient and look for the next best thing. Okay, I don't know if you know this or not, but so let's say that you're going to Friendly's. Everybody at work's going to Friendly's, and you're like, oh gosh, Friendly's? Really? Okay, well, I only have X number of points to spend. What in the world am I going to get? If you haven't seen this feature yet, this is the filter feature once you are in there by restaurant. And so when you touch the filter, and it's just 3 little lines that go up and down like that, then this bar opens at the bottom. And you can slide that bar from 0, like let's say you want to spend some points. You're not looking for anything that's 0 points, okay? Sure, okay. So you're looking for things that are 2 points to 9 points. Let's say that. Don't know why I made up those 2 numbers. And then you hit apply filters. And so now this is going to filter everything at Friendly's that is at least 2 points, but no more than 9. So anything at Friendly's that's between 2 and 9 points is going to be filtered on there. Okay, so you can find, based on how many points you have left that you want to spend, you can kind of narrow it down like that. If instead, if you want Friendly's, if you're like, I have no points left for today, I have none, you can scoot this back over here to 0, and then you can take the upper one, if your fingers will work correctly, you can take this upper one and go to 0 to 1. Let's see what happens to that list when we filter on 0 to 1 at Friendly's. Look, there are still a few things. Let's see what those are. You can get an unsweet iced tea. Fantastic. Apparently they have a fruit dried blend you can get that's 1 point. You can have tricolor tortilla strips for 1 point and an unsweet tea. Or you can get some sauerkraut. There's not a lot on here for 0 to 1 points, but at least you would know. Oh look, the Friendly's steamed broccoli. So you're gonna have steamed broccoli, an unsweet tea, and I don't know, let me pick something else. A slice of turkey for 2 points, but still it's doable. My only caution is once you're done with that, like once you're done with that filter, go ahead and go up here, click on it, and hit clear. Can you all see clear down there at the bottom? And are y'all still with me because you're not talking anymore? Okay, so hit clear at the bottom so that it releases all of them. If you don't hit clear before you start to go look again, you're gonna be like, there's nothing on here, because your filter is still applied. Okay, so that's one place to go. Another place to go is when we go back to our main menu, so where you start, at the beginning of your day. So when you start at My Day, you can also go to, you can touch that, the 3, you can, yes, thank you, Sarah. So you can touch the 3 little down arrows, and you can go to, let's see, let me find it. Oh, sorry, down here at the bottom. So what to eat. It's down here at the bottom, the 4 across the bottom. And sorry, trying to look at this upside down and backwards, sometimes you get lost. So down here at the bottom, it says what to eat. And if you've never noticed this, there are two little things across the top that you can toggle between. One of them says at home and the other one says eating out. So we're going to touch the eating out, and all of a sudden you get these new little widgets, and I forget what Gwen says that Weight Watchers calls them, but they're widgets. So you get these cute little widgets, and this just means that McDonald's, Panera, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, and Starbucks, they are the only brand specific widgets on here. That means they are paying Weight Watchers to have this on here, just so you know. Or you can click on cuisines, and you've got Thai, Indian, Italian, Mexican, and Chinese. There are some tips and tricks down here, but I want to show you all something in case you've never noticed this. So let's just say Chick-fil-A, for example. So we just touched Chick-fil-A. It is automatically going to bring up feeling peckish. Let's fix that. So for breakfast, it's got some suggestions on things that you should eat for breakfast with the points value. Then it has, you know, like some main meal ideas. It's got some sides. It's got suggestions for those. It has suggestions on the points. You can still go back and get every single point for every single thing at Chick-fil-A or any other restaurant. You can do that, but in case you didn't know, down here, every single one of those, so Chick-fil-A, McDonald's, Panera, Starbucks, and whoever the last, Chipotle, those have some little money-saving tips, and it's not money, it's points. Let's see, and Ann says, something that helps me is I do the same thing and decide what I want before I go. Then once I get there, she never looks at anything else, okay? Doesn't look at anything else. But these little point-saving hacks at the bottom, in case y'all have never noticed those. Like for Chick-fil-A, it says, number 1, add a grilled chicken fillet to your breakfast sandwich to make it extra filling for 0 points. Did you even know? Did you even know? I didn't. Did you even know that you can add a grilled chicken fillet to your breakfast sandwich? Now you know. Number 2, salad dressing packets range from 1 to 11 points, but you really only need 1/3 of it to get the flavor, and you can save up to 7 points. Okay? Number 3, order half of your 8-piece nuggets grilled and half regular so that you get the taste of crispy chicken for just 3 points. What? That's genius. So you still get the taste of the crispy chickens. What? And who knew that you could do that? Who knew that you could order an 8-piece nuggets, half grilled, half regular? Who knew that? Number 4, if you want cheese on your sandwich, okay, shocker. If you want cheese on your sandwich at Chick-fil-A, ask for American cheese because it's 2 points instead of pepper jack, which is 3 points, or Colby jack, which is 4 points. Who knew? And last week when we were talking about saving a penny or a nickel, that's 2 pennies right there, okay? And then the 5th one, swap the default bun, which is buttered. This I did know you could do. So on the breakfast sandwiches, so like on a bagel or on a biscuit, or on the lunch and dinner sandwiches on the buns, you can tell them you want an unbuttered bun, and you can actually do that now on the Chick-fil-A app. So if you are ordering Chick-fil-A on the Chick-fil-A app, you can tell it unbuttered. Leaving the butter off of the bun saves 2 points. 2, okay? Okay, so everybody gets that, right? And they show you, you know, like the zesty buffalo sauce is 1 point. Light Italian dressing is 1 point. Honey roasted barbecue sauce is 2. Honey mustard's 3. Crispy bell peppers is 3. But the Chick-fil-A sauce, 6. Yeah, I already knew that. Okay, so does that make sense? And then you can go back, and there's some other helpful tips down here. Here's the how to enjoy eating out, traveling, you can stay on track, 23 point saving party tricks. I haven't looked at that one. How to hack any menu. That one would be a good one to look at. And how to track and stay on track when eating out. So those are some great ones to go back and check. And again, up here you can either go to McDonald's, Panera, Chick-fil-A, Chipotle, or Starbucks, or you can choose a cuisine down here. So you could choose Mexican, you could choose Indian, Thai. So if you went to the Mexican one, it's going to pull up some suggestions for that. Okay, so it is we're 1 minute away from 8:45. So whoever was helping me with my 8:45, whoever was helping me by regrouping me at 8:45, thank you. So I got there by myself a minute early. Whew, so I'm going to go ahead and take an extra drink of water. Okay, thank you, Sandra, very much. Sandra just said, it's 8:45. Kelly, get back on track. Okay, whew, so For everyone who's playing this game, I need you to go ahead and get your piece of paper. Thank you, Elaine. It is indeed 8:45. I need you to go ahead and get your piece of paper and your writing utensil. And I have mine ready. And this, remember, this is not the test that I do when I give you all a pop quiz, which tonight's a pop quiz. There is no wrong or right answer, okay? This is all just so that all of us open our minds, okay? Sarah's got hers. She even gave me visual proof that she has hers. Let me ask y'all a question while we're waiting for everybody to get theirs. There is an option, and I don't know, it seems exciting, but it seems scary too. There's an option for me to occasionally bring one or two of you all on screen with me. Would y'all be interested in occasionally, not every single week, but would you all be interested in occasionally us having like a focus thing, like, or maybe we're making something together, like a cook with me or something, and occasionally, maybe like once a month, bringing one or two of you all on camera via Facebook with me, if Facebook would cooperate, just so that we could do something like that. So yeah, so let me know. So let me know in the comments. Yeah, and Sarah's like, oh yes. So let me know in the comments, or like Sarah did, just go ahead and comment and let me know how you feel about that. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. Because our new friend in our in-person workshops, because, oh, and Carol Lee says she would definitely do a cooking session with me. Awesome. But because our new friend at our in-person workshop, because she had this challenge set out in front of her, thank you, Mary, because she had that challenge set out in front of her to figure out what to eat at Calhoun's, which again, if you're not from around here, Calhoun's is a local establishment that specializes in all things not point friendly. So yeah, so that was going to be an especially, you know, like challenging. It's going to be an especially challenging restaurant. So it wasn't like they were going to Applebee's or something. But, I mean, to make it special, you know, Calhoun's is a good one to go to. So here's what we did. A couple of my table mates and I looked up a similar restaurant, and then we came up with what we would eat if we were in the same situation. So now I'm going to put you all in this situation. So does everybody know, and do not, and yeah, Lynn, I think it does sound like fun, so do not get off of this chat and go cheat, okay? No one, 0 of you jump over onto your Weight Watchers app, okay? I don't want anyone to cheat on this. I want your honest opinions on this. Okay, so first of all, I tried to pick something that most everybody has. So who has Outback? So do you have Outback Steakhouse, or do you know what it is, or have you ever been by one or been in one? You don't have to have been recently, but I'm trying to pick something that the majority of you all would just have a clue what I was talking about. Okay. Ooh, Sarah says they have a Kowloon's Chinese food place. That sounds good. If I ever go to Raleigh, Massachusetts, I'll have to check it out. And Joyce, yes, has almost said Kowloon's. Outback. Oh, Lynn says no. Sandra says no. Joycelyn says yes. Okay, so hopefully the majority of y'all have an Outback Steakhouse, but in case you don't, and Kim says they do, so in case you don't, Outback is just a steakhouse. Okay, but it's like an Australian themed-ish, you know, steakhouse. So I'm going to give you all some things to choose from. And again, do not cheat. Do not jump over onto your Weight Watchers app and look these up, okay? So the first thing you're going to pick, I want you to pick one drink. And this is a fun night out, okay? So you're having a fun night out with your coworkers. There will be libations there, which just means alcoholic beverages. So I'm not giving you water as a choice. I'm not giving you a diet beverage as a choice. If you don't drink, that is okay. If you don't drink alcohol, that is okay. Still pick one of these. Okay, I don't drink alcohol, but I still want you to pick one of these because we are having a normal, totally, nope, no, Sandra, nope. You gotta wait. You gotta wait until I give you the choices. So no, I'm not giving you any diet drink choices, okay? So you gotta wait, and I'm gonna give you the choices. So again, I don't drink alcohol, but we're gonna pretend this is a fun evening out. No one's gonna notice that we're doing Weight Watchers, okay? We're just gonna make some selections. So you can choose one of these drinks. Your choices are, and all three of these are alcoholic, so all three of these have points. This is not a trick question. So pick from one of these three drinks. Cucumber lemonade, that's choice number one. It is an alcoholic drink. Or the Castaway cocktail, also an alcoholic drink. Or the Jack Dundee tea, also an alcoholic drink. Do not cheat. Do not run over there. Your three choices are cucumber lemonade, and you have to pick one. Cucumber lemonade, Castaway cocktail, or Jack Dundee tea. Okay? I'm going to give y'all just a minute to think about that. Cucumber lemonade, Castaway cocktail, Jack Dundee tea. Okay. Then you have to choose an appetizer or a salad. So you can either get an appetizer or you can get a salad. Okay. So your choices are a wedge salad, which is just does everybody know what a wedge salad is? Okay. So I thank you all for shouting these out, but write them down too. So, because we're going to come up with a total here at the end. So a wedge salad, it's just a normal wedge salad. Okay. Or Tasmanian chili, and their Tasmanian chili is advertised as all steak, no beans, or the Sydney shrooms. And the Sydney shrooms are mushrooms, but they are battered and fried. Okay, so you have to choose. You've already chosen a drink. Now you've got to choose an appetizer or a salad, and your choices on the appetizer or salad is either a wedge salad, a Tasmanian chili that is advertised as all steak, no beans, or the mushrooms. They're called Sydney shrooms. Because remember, this is kind of it's not just kind of, it's Outback. It's an Australian themed restaurant. Okay, so now you've chosen your either an appetizer or a salad from one of those three choices: wedge salad, Tasmanian chili, or Sydney shrooms. Okay, next you've got to choose one main dish. So remember, we were talking earlier, we were talking about using your hand to know about approximately how big things are. Okay, so this is approximately 3 to 4 ounces of meat. So just remember, using your hand. So from these main choices, you have to pick one. You can either get 5 ounces of Alice Springs chicken. So that is a chicken breast, and it has a little cheese on it and some scallions, I think. So it's going to be a little bit bigger than the palm of my hand. So that's a 5-ounce Alice Springs chicken. Or a 5-ounce lobster tail, which hopefully would not be square like my hand. So 5 ounces of steamed lobster tail. Again, 5 ounces is about this big. Or a 10-ounce sirloin and the grilled shrimp on the Barbie. So a 10-ounce sirloin is probably going to be about this big. A 10-ounce sirloin, and that comes with grilled shrimp on the Barbie. Okay, so if y'all don't have Outback, I didn't just lose my mind. It's called grilled shrimp on the Barbie. Okay, so your choices are a 5-ounce Alice Springs chicken, a 5 ounces of steamed lobster tail, or a 10-ounce sirloin with grilled shrimp on the Barbie. Okay, so those are your choices for the main. And then you've got to choose one side dish. So your choices for the side dish are fresh mixed veggies, which is just fresh mixed veggies, or asparagus, or a sweet potato. So you can have one side dish. So it will either be fresh mixed veggies, or asparagus, or sweet potato. Okay? Okay, can anybody tell me, and I can go through these really quickly because we only have 7 minutes, but can anybody tell me what your drink, your appetizer or salad, your main dish, and your one side, can anybody tell me what all of those choices were? Because I'm going to add that up for you real quick. Okay, so thank you to everybody that's listing them one by one. That is fantastic. But did anybody write them down? And can you tell me? Okay, hold on a second. So Kathy says lemonade and the wedge salad and the chicken and the sweet potato. Okay, Kathy, do you want to know what the damage is? That is 52 points. So what Kathy chose is 52 points. So I'm going to tell you all what it is, what all of these are here in just a second. Okay, so Melissa said cucumber lemonade, the wedge salad, the sirloin with the grilled shrimp, and the sweet potatoes. So Melissa, I know you have an Outback where you live because I know where you live. I don't technically know where you live. I know what area you live in. So that is 7, 9, 13, 53 points. Okay, I'll do one more and then I'll tell you all what this is. So I'm going to pick somebody that got something different. Okay, that's funny. All of y'all are picking the lemonade. cucumber lemonade, cucumber lemonade, cucumber lemonade, cucumber lemonade. Nobody wants anything different. Everybody's picking cucumber lemonade. Okay, here's going to be a good one. Okay, Sarah is going to pass out. So Sarah picked the cucumber lemonade. She picked the Sydney shrooms. She picked the sirloin with the grilled shrimp. And she picked the sweet potato. Okay, so Sarah, the mushrooms, the number that I have is for the whole thing. So we're going to say that you took 3 of your favorite friends and that you divided, that you all split it into 4, okay? Just so that you don't, well, no, we're going to say you took one of your favorite friends and you took me and we split it, okay? So if we split those shrooms, that is going to be this much. So that is 19, 59 points, okay? Okay, so now let me tell you what all the points values were, and thank you all for not cheating. Okay, so you all were smart on the beverage. So on the alcoholic beverages, the cucumber lemonade is 7 points, but because it is alcoholic, it has points. So 7 points, that's not horrible. The Castaway cocktail is 9. The Jack Dundee tea is 19. Okay, 19 for that Jack Dundee tea. So I don't know what extra it has in it. The appetizer or salad, the wedge salad is 20 dang points. 20 points, but it seems like, oh yeah, salad. I would totally get that. The wedge salad is 20 points. No one that I noticed picked the Tasmanian chili. The Tasmanian chili is advertised as all steak, no beans, but it's 7 points. It is only 7 points for the Tasmanian chili. The Sydney shrooms for the entire order. Oh, let's see, Sarah, how much for the lemonade? The cucumber lemonade was 7. The Sydney shrooms for the entire order, 57 points. Mushrooms are a vegetable, but it's 57 points. Okay, I'll talk quickly. The main dish. Okay, hold on, Melissa, I'm getting there. Choose one main dish. The 5-ounce Alice Springs chicken, which I've had it and it's good, but it ain't this good, is 11 points. Okay, it's 11. That's not hideous. The 5 ounces of steamed lobster tail, I'm assuming must have some butter on it. 11 points, okay? No, thank you. You could get a 10-ounce sirloin and grilled shrimp on the Barbie for 12 points. Thank you. I'm getting the 10 ounces of sirloin with grilled shrimp for 1 extra point, okay? 12 points. Then on the choose one sides, so the fresh mixed veggies, seems like that should be 0 point, right? Because they're veggies. 0, 4 points. 4 points. So they must be swimming in butter. The asparagus is 1 point. That tells me it has a smidge of butter on it because asparagus is 0. The sweet potato is 14. Also probably swimming in butter, okay? Probably butter, maybe some brown sugar, maybe some marshmallows. I don't know. I've never had a sweet potato there. But the point is, if we had gotten a cucumber lemonade, a Tasmanian chili, the 10-ounce sirloin with the grilled shrimp, and asparagus, which is plenty dang food, okay? Plenty of food. That would be 14, 15, 16, 17, 27 points, okay? 27 points, and I guarantee you we would have had this much food on our plate. Now, does that mean you can't have the Jack Dundee tea? Absolutely not. Does that mean you can't split the shrooms with somebody? Absolutely not. See, Kathy, does that mean you can't have something else? Absolutely not. But because we checked this before we went, so before Sarah and I headed over to Outback, we talked about it. We talked about if we were going to share the mushrooms. I'm just kidding. We're not really headed to Outback. Sorry, Sarah, calm down. But if we talked about all this, instead of spending 52, 53, 59 points, 27 points. So what we came up with at Calhoun's for the girl that's a kind of a little bit newish to our group. Yeah, let's do it. That's a little bit newish to our group. What we came up with for her was going to be 14 points for her meal. She really, 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 of all the things that they have at Calhoun's, the only thing that she seemed a little sad about was their famous banana pudding. So guess what? What the combination that we came up with, 14 points for her meal, and she could split that banana pudding with somebody and still be under 28 points. How fantastic is that? Doesn't mean you have to eat the banana pudding, doesn't mean that's what you have to spend it on, doesn't mean you can't have the shrooms, but knowing before she went, so she brought this up to us last Tuesday, I cannot wait to see what she picked after she went this week. So there you have it. Know before you go. Try to figure it out. If you can't find the exact restaurant, try to find something as close as you can, or ask us. There's plenty of people in our group that would love to help you out with that. Seriously, y'all seriously do not ask enough questions. We have people that would answer you. Somebody besides me would think that this was fun to sit down with you and figure out how many points all this was and kind of help guide you. We think this is fun. I know, it's crazy. Okay, so thank you all for being here. Again, thank you all so much for your sweet wishes and sweet comments about Dusty. I'm 6 days better than I was last week. And I'll just get, more and more better, every day. You don't realize how much you're with somebody until you're not with somebody, okay? And apparently I was with him a lot. Also realize this is the first time, I'm 56 years old, almost 57. I'm pretty sure this is the first time ever in my life that I've not had an animal, some kind of an animal, a lizard, a fish, some kind of a pet. But anyway, I hope y'all had a fantastic week, because I'm not going down that rabbit hole again. Hope y'all had a great week. I hope that this was an eye-opener. It was an eye-opener for me. It always is an eye-opener for me when I stop and check things. But y'all have a fantastic week. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and let that next video roll over. And I hope you will watch that next video and enjoy it, and you would comment on it and let me know how you do with this, figuring out. That is your homework, is to figure out something like what we just did in the second half. But I hope y'all have a great week, and I will see you next time. Good night, everybody.